Hello and welcome to Herald TV News Bulletin with me, Orina. After the Goa budget, the fuel price hike is killing home budgets of the common man. Fuel prices across the country have been raised yet again. Oil marketing companies raised prices of petrol and diesel again on Friday by 80 paise per litre each. Following the hike, petrol was retailing at rupees 102.98 a litre in Goa, while diesel sold at rupees 93.87 a litre. The total hike during the last 10 days per litre is rupees 6.40 paise. If the government has to spend money, it takes a vote on account. But how will families take a vote of account to raise extra money to beat the fuel price hike?
The price of petrol and diesel were hiked by 80 paisa per litre on Thursday. This is the 9th hike in 10 days. People are completely dumbfounded by the price hike. Petrol price has now jumped to rupees 102.98 on Thursday. Diesel price has now jumped to 93.87. Clinton D'Souza for Herald TV.
आम्ही सरकाराक सुद्धा ब्लेम करूंक शकना कित्याक ते पेट्रोल हे आमच्या इंडियेक तर पिकाना. जर आमच्या इंडियेक पिकलेले जाल्यार आमी सरकाराक ब्लेम करूंक शकताले. तरी सुद्धा आमच्या बीजेपी गव्हर्नमेंटान आयज येयल्ली आसा पावरान गोंयांत. तेंच्यांनी हेजेर कितें तरी कंट्रोल दवरपाक जाय.
कितें मिन्स कशें कितें कमी करपाचें?
मातशें कमी करपाक जाय न्हू. तो सामान्य मनशाक परवडना. आमकां आयज जर एक पणजेसून घरा वयतलो जाल्यार 1 लिटर पेट्रोल 100 रुपया घालचें पडटा. आतां 102 रुपया जाल्लें आसा.
आणि कितें वाडटलें अशें दिसता तुमकां?
आतां गव्हर्नमेंटाचेर आहा न्हू.
न्ही बाकीचे गॅस बी तसो
थोडो कितें वॅट बीन काडूंक मेळटा जाल्यार पळोवपाचो गव्हर्नमेंटान.
आणि गॅस बी वाडले जाल्यार तेचेर
गॅसाक आतां कितें म्हणून सांगपाचें. गॅसूय आतां कमर्शियलूय वाडली आनी डॉमेस्टिकूय वाडली.
ओके जाल्यार फाटले 8-10 दीस पेट्रोल अशें वाडत आसा 80 पैसा आनी कितें तरी. आतां टोटल 7 रुपया वाडल्यात. हाचेर तुमचें कितें मत आसा?
पेट्रोल वाडप हें जावपाचेंच आसलें. जे युक्रेन आनी रशियाचें जें चल्लां, जें वॉर चालू आसा ताचो इफेक्ट हो जाल्लो आसा. इंडियन गव्हर्मेंट तशें व्हडलेंशें कांय करूंक शकना. तरी पूण तेंचे प्रयत्न चालू आसा की स्टेट वचून पेट्रोल हाडपाचें. हे सगळें खर्चीकूच आसा आनी थोडे आमी सोंसचेच पडटली. आमी पळयलें की लास्ट 2 वर्सां आनी पेट्रोल वाडत आसा. ही सगळी मोनोपोली चालू आसा. इवन US तेंची तकली तेंची चालू आसा. मिडल ईस्ट कंट्री आहा. पेट्रोलाचेर सगळें चल्लें. आतां एक बरें आसा की आयजूच हायड्रोजनाचेर गाडी सुरू केल्या. आयज तेंचेर टेस्ट रायड घेवन पळयली सेंट्रल मिनिस्टरान आमच्या गडकरी. आतां पळय ताका पर्याय कितें तरी काडचोच पडटलो. कित्याक पेट्रोल काय आमच्या कडेन ना. आमकां रेस्ट ऑफ वर्ल्डा कडेन आमकां तेंचे कडेन वाट पळोवची पडटा. पूण आतां इलेक्ट्रीक कार येयल्ल्यो आसा. आमी आतां ऑप्शनाक वयचें पडटलें. आनी पेट्रोल आमी थोडे तरी कळ सोंसचीच पडटली. कित्याक पेट्रोलाचेर नांव घेवन जर आमी तर गव्हर्मेंटाकूय ब्लेम केलें तर जावंक शकना. कित्याक बियॉन्ड कंट्रोलूच आसा तें. म्हणून आमी थोडे तरी अशेंच काडपाक जाय. पूण गव्हर्मेंटानूय त्याच बरोबर थोडे ते टॅक्सीस आसा त्यो थोडो कमी केलो जाल्यार आमकां पेट्रोलाक आमकां सवाय पडटली. थोडे जे वॅट आसा वॅट कमी करपाक जाय. स्टेट गव्हर्मेंटानूय करूंक जाय आनी सेंट्रल गव्हर्मेंटानूय करूंक जाय. म्हाका दिसता सेंट्रल गव्हर्मेंट थोडे करता पूण स्टेट गव्हर्मेंटानूय आतां थोडो जर हें केलो.
No Bhupachi Garaz now for Goan homemakers. With fuel prices continuously rising by the day, homemakers are at their wits' end how to make things work. The continuous price hike is driving homemakers nuts, completely wrecking their budgets. They dread to read the newspapers each morning for fear of fuel prices rising. Over the last 10 days, the fuel price hike has touched rupees 6.40 paise, sending their budgets into a tailspin.
Fuel prices have been rising continuously over the last 10 days. The total fuel hike per litre is rupees 6.40 paisa. The fuel price hike has wrecked the budgets of homemakers.
आमकां हेजेर कितें तरी पेट्रोलाक आमकां कितें तरी एक हें दिवपाची, सबसिडी दिवपाची. ती आतां आमकां ऑयल घालून 140 रुपया 1 लिटर पडटा.
ओके.
आनी आतां गॅस बीन सगळे वाडल्या. तेजेर मातशें यंत्रण कितें हाडपाचें गव्हर्मेंटान.
सांग कितें म्हणटालो? नवो गव्हर्मेंट जाला.
बीजेपी गव्हर्मेंट जाला. प्रमोद सावंत कितें तरी आमकां करपाचें रिक्षाकारा खातीर स्कीम दिवपाची. कितें पेट्रोलाचेर नियंत्रण हाडपाचें. गॅस सिलिंडर वाडले. म्हारगाय तर जायना.
रिक्षा कितली वर्सां जाली रिक्षा चलयता?
30 वर्सां जाली.
20 वर्सां
30
वर्सां पयलीं कशें घालतालो लिटर तूं पेट्रोल
पयलीं आमी घालताले 60 रुपया 7 रुपयांनी घातले ते नाका धर 60 ते
7 रुपयाने घातला पाहिजे
7 रुपयांनी घातलेले आनी आतां तेच 102 रुपया काय कितें तरी
102 रुपया पेट्रोल जाले आमकां प्लस वयला तिका गाडयेक.
हां.
The Motor Vehicle Amendment 2019 will come into force from 1st April midnight, imposing hefty fines for various traffic offences. Fines have increased and the power to compound the fines has been given to the RTO officers, Director of Transport Rajan Satadekar said. He called on people to obey traffic laws so they don't give an opportunity to be fined.
The Motor Vehicle Amendment Act 2019 comes into force from midnight, April 1st. Hefty fines will be imposed on traffic violations in Goa. People should obey traffic laws so they don't have a reason to give fines, says Director of Transport. Lowest rates in the range are made applicable in Goa, says the Director of Transport.
सर आयज तुमची मिटींग जाली फाल्यांच्यान न्यू मोटर व्हेकल एक्ट रुल्स जे आहा फायन्स बीन ते इम्प्लिमेंट जाता सो आयज कितें मिटींग जाली आनी कितें
हय मोटर व्हेकल अमेंडमेंट जाल्लो आसा पळय सम टायम्स बॅक ताच्यात इम्प्लिमेंटेशन आमी 1 एप्रील 2022 करता. फायन्स मोटर व्हेकल एक्टान वाडिल्ले आसात आनी पावर टू कंपाउंडींग पोलीस ऑफिसर्स आनी डिपार्टमेंट RTO ऑफिसर्सान दिल्ले आसा. सो तेचें इम्प्लिमेंटेशन आज 12 वरांचेर मिडनायट 00 hours सुरू जातलें. सिस्टमान ऑलरेडी आमी ते सगळे फीड केल्ले आसा. सो अवेरनसूय केल्ली आसा थ्रू मिडिया एंड सोशल मिडिया. सो म्हजी सगळ्यांक मागणी ओके कायद्याचें पालन करचें. ओके फायन्स घालपाक ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी दिवची न्ही बिकॉज इफ देर इज अ वायलेशन दॅन ओनली द क्वेश्चन ऑफ फायन्स कम. सो प्रिपेर्डनेस जाल्ली आसा आनी दीस वॉज लाँग ड्यू कारण दीस एक फायन्स इम्प्लिमेंटेशन सुप्रीम कोर्ट कमिटी मॉनिटर करता कारण तांचो वी आर इन डिफॉल्ट बेसिकली. सो आतां आमकां तो कम्प्लायन्स धाडून कंप्लाय केला म्हणून सांगपाक मेळटा.
So any relaxation will be there on the fine because the lots of common people were saying कि the fines are too much. So
कायद्यान थोडे कडेन आशिल्ले ते 4-5 कडेन सम रेंज वॉज गिवन तातूंत आमी लोवरूच दवरल्या ती वेरेवर शक्य आसा थंयसर म्हणजे आमकां कायद्यान फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी दिल्ली आसा थंय पूण बाकीच्या कडेन स्कोप ना सरकाराक करपाक. सो ते ऑलरेडी ते रिलॅक्सेशन घेतलेले आसात जेन्ना आमी ते नोटिफिकेशन ड्राफ्ट केल्ले तेन्ना.
सो त्यो ज्यो फायन्स आतां गोंयांत लागू जाल्ल्यो सगळ्यान कमी आहा मिनिमम आहा न्यू मोटर व्हेकल एक्ट.
मिनिमम अशें म्हणूं शकना ते 4-5 थोडे ऑफेन्सीस आसा तातूंत तेंच्यानी रेंज दिली मिनिमम से इतली आनी इतल्या पर्यंत आसपाक जाय तातूंत आमी लोक घेता पूण बाकी सगळे कडेन सेम आसा ते.
This is concerned, it is the central government order. Let's see the state government order. We are waiting with the state government. What the state government says, we will implement it immediately. And it has to be implemented. No doubt it is taxing on the pocket of the commuters. But 300 fatal accident in Goa. About 2,000 to 3,000 legs are broken. Lot of damage is there. How we should control? We have to control by way of the punitive measure, then preventive measure, then educative measures. So this is one kind of punitive measures are there and which has to be implemented because fatality rate is very high. And Goa being a tourist place, we cannot afford such kind of fatality.
Since these fines are to do with the road, the government should ensure that the roads are first of that quality where people can afford to pay the loans and they can afford to pay the fines. Because if you see today, what is the scenario? You have got potholes everywhere. You have got roads which are not, the infrastructure of the roads is not sufficient. And on top of that, the government now wants to implement new fines which are more than 7 to 10 times the existing fines.
William Rodrigues for Herald TV.
After Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant on Wednesday assured the Goa Legislative Assembly that 1.2 kilometers of the remaining work of the Western Bypass Road will be constructed on stilts, petitioner Royla Fernandez said half the battle has been won. She, however, insisted that the 2.75 kilometers from Serauli to Varka needs to be built on stilts to prevent the village of Benaulim from flooding. She also insisted that she would continue her case before the National Green Tribunal so that she could be heard on all environmental issues.
Petitioner Royla Fernandez demanded that 2.75 kilometers of the western bypass from Seralim to Varka be built on stilts. Stilts in Benaulim important to prevent the village from flooding, say petitioner. Royla Fernandez seeks to pursue her petition with the NGT. Petitioner Royla Fernandez is not averse to approaching the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, Benaulim MLA Wenzy Vegas has also demanded that the western bypass through Benaulim should also be on stilts and that standing crops should not be destroyed by the highway work.
Proposed Kellen by the PWD, and now they have said it's 1.2 kilometers. But the entire stretch length is 2.75. Sadhya Pai Dila is from Serauli Fish Market till the railway overbridge. Yes, Tingai flooding zata, but at the same time, the government and the court also have to see that Benaulim Zudio opposite Thoda Bandar Poyaha ती शेत एग्रीकल्चरल लँड्स आणि तिंगा सामकें गरजेचें. आयज आमी पळयताय तिंगा ऑलरेडी पुरोवपा लागले, शेत रोयलोली हाय लोकांची, तेजे वयल्यान घालून पुरोवपा स्टार्ट केलेले आहा. आनी आनीक 2 म्हयन्या भितर आमी पळयतली पावस येतकच तिंगा सद्दां बुडटा. हें हांवें सांगपा नाका, मिडिया जाणा, सरकार जाणा. एवरी इयर जेन्ना तिंगा बुडटा ते पळय थोड्या बांदार, ते बांदारचे लोक रावतात, तांकां सगळे शिफ्ट करून व्हरोन मडगांव रिलोकेट केलेले आसता. When such a thing is there, the government should also put more time and effort to come to ground. The department should come to ground and study, and stilts in that area is the only solution to protect the village. It's not just Thodabad area, but the village of Benauli also getting affected by the floods. In fact, after yesterday's assurance, I have still gone ahead because I don't depend on the assurance. It's not come as an order, it's nothing written. The department has to make it official that it is going to be on stilts. Till now, it's only a proposal which is given to the NGT. And to pursue my matter further with the NGT, I have submitted my application yesterday evening that the NGT should continue my case. आमी पळय जुनान केस घातलेली ती मुखार व्हरपाक, कित्याक I also want to still give my views to the NGT about the proposals which are given.
Chief Minister has already assured that the Fatorda part will be on stilts. So yes, Benaulim we are still demanding on stilts. Somehow filling comments जाल्ले आनी जे स्टँडिंग क्रॉप्स आहा ते ऑलरेडी तेमी पुरोवपाक कॉमेस केले. सो वी हॅव मॅनेज टू रिक्वेस्ट ऑल दी ऑथॉरिटीज कन्सर्न आनी सद्या आमी ते स्टँडिंग क्रॉप्स आहा तेजे हार्वेस्टिंग जाच पसून ते मातशें सांबाळया म्हणून सगळे एग्री जाला. सो टील दॅट टायम टील एप्रील एंड तो क्रॉप रेडी जातलो आनी मागीर हार्वेस्टिंग जातलें. सो वी वील द वर्क वील होल्ड ऑन टील दॅट एरिया. दुसरी एरियांनी काम चलतलें. इन द मीन टायम already the panchayat is in the process of getting the advocate through with the advocate they have to now consult the concerned person who had initially gone to NGT. So ताका मेळोन म्हाका आतां परत सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाल्यार सुप्रीम कोर्टान वचपाची ही तयारी करपाक ही मांडावळ मुखार घायल्ली आहा.
District and Sessions Court, South Goa has acquitted all 13 accused in the murder case of 2 United Tribals Take 2. District and Sessions Court, South Goa has acquitted all 13 accused in the murder case of 2 United Tribals Association Alliance UTAA activists Mangesh Gaunkar and Dilip Velip during the infamous UTAA agitation. One accused died during the course of the investigation. Both activists were suffocated to death when they took refuge in a cashew factory which was set on fire at Bali on May 25, 2011.
District and Session Court South Goa has acquitted all accused in the murder of two United Tribal Association Alliance activists Mangesh Gaonkar and Dilip Vilip during the infamous Uta agitation. Two tribal youth were found dead in the Achal Kaju factory, which was set ablaze by a mob. This is in retaliation to the violent incident at the National Highway in Bali, following a road blockage by tribal organization United Tribal Alliance Association 2011 in support of the 12-point Charter of Demands.
खूब बरें दिसता इतले वर्सांनी 11 वर्सांनी केस आज सोंपता आनी आमची फेवरान जाता जजमेंट ऑफ एक्विटल accused are given benefit of doubt and are acquitted of all the sections for which they were charged. All the accused are acquitted. So हांव खूब खुश आसा म्हाका इतले वर्साचे जे कश्ट घेतिल्ले ताजे आज फळ मेळटा खूब बरें दिसलें. Fine न्ही ही प्रोसिजर आसता there is a provision of law which is 437A by which you have to, if the state matter is gone against the state, against the CBI, so they might prefer an appeal before the High Court. So for that there is a provision of law that if in case the matter is appeal is preferred before the higher court, you should remain present before the appellate court. So for that purpose additional bond has to be furnished, which is of 20,000, which you would be furnishing now.
Do you think this is a political framed case?
I would say that we were really unlucky. We were always there supporting the locals, supporting the UTA activists there. आणि एक incident जालो, तुमकां सगळ्यांक खबर आसा, you people were witnesses to it. जे इतलो आर्सन जालो, इतलो रायट जालो, कोणी केलो ते सगळ्यांक खबर आसा. आनी आमी लोकल्स आमी तांकां केन्ना आडयले नाशिल्ले. सगळे बरे भशेन चलताले. ते बिझनस सुद्दां तांचो चलता तो बाळल्यांक चलतालो. आमी तांकां केन्ना ना म्हणना. पूण तरी पसून इतली जे एक्सटेंटाचेर गेले, पुलीस ऑफिसर्स were assaulted, government machinery was being कितें जालें, उजू घालो, मारले, खूब जालें. ताचो जो आउटबस्ट जालो तातूंत भितर जे 2 जाण मनीस अनलकीली थंय भितर एक्सपायर जाले, ताचे खातीर हो इतलो इश्यू जालो. बट देन पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड आय वूड नॉट से नो ऑल्सो. कांयच ना पॉलिटिकल एफिलिएशन ना आशिल्ली, कारण तुमकां खबर आसा दुसरे सायडीच्यान कोण कोण लिडर्स आशिल्ले ते. So definitely there would be something or the other, but एकच हांव सांगपाक सोदतां, when it comes to court of law, थंय पॉलिटिक्स कांय चलना. कोर्ट आपल्यालो एविडन्साचेर बेस्ड जजमेंट दितात, जो तुमी आज तुमचे मुखार आसा. सो पॉलिटिक्सान जर फेवरेबल जजमेंट जाता आशिल्लो जाल्यार म्हज्या मतान आज जजमेंट कितें तरी वेगळो जाता आशिल्लो. सो तो आज जालो ना. हाजे वयल्यान कळटा की ज्युडिशरी कोणाक पॉलिटिक्साक बळी पडना.
कितले विटनेस जाले?
67 विटनेसीस जाल्ले केसी. चार्जशिटाक ओवरऑल आनीक चड विटनेस आशिल्ले, सादारण 80-85 कितें विटनेस आशिल्ले. तातूंतले 67 विटनेसीस एग्जामीन जाल्ले. सेक्शन 304 पार्ट 2 which is culpable homicide not amounting to murder, 436 म्हळ्यार आर्सन म्हळ्यार उजू घालप, आनी बाकीचे रायटिंग 143, 147, 148.
It is Aditya Bidre for Herald TV.
The court has remanded Prathamesh Naik to 10 days police custody. His minor girlfriend has been sent to a juvenile detention centre in Mirses. As per reports of the Kurchere police, on 28th morning, Manisha Naik was reportedly murdered in her house by the duo when she was alone.
Matricide case. Son taken into 10-day police custody. The court has remanded Prathamesh Naik in police custody for 10 days and his minor girlfriend has been sent to a juvenile detention centre in Mirses. As per reports by the Kurchere police, on the morning of 28th March, Manisha Naik was reportedly murdered in her house when she was alone. 2 hours later, he posted a photo of both of them on WhatsApp status and wrote, "I love you," said a police source. Prathamesh's girlfriend had disappeared from the house 3 days before the murder, but the girl's parents had not lodged a complaint with the police. Her father had called her and she told him that she was with Prathamesh. They spent the night near Ambedkar Chowk. On the night of the 27th, both of them spent the night on the terrace of Mangaldas' house in Dare, and Manisha was murdered when Mangaldas went to his shop in the morning. Prathamesh had completed 18 years just 1 week before. The teenage girl, his lover, was about to turn 18 after 3 months. Clinton D'Souza for Herald TV.
For over a month now, the dairy farmers of Navidyar Harwale village have been tying their cows as a preventive measure because someone in the village has been planting handmade bombs to ward off wild boars. The bombs are laced with food. However, tragically, 2 cattle got free and ate the food-laced bombs, thus getting killed.
2 cattle were killed in Navidar Halvalam village after accidentally consuming a food-laced bomb. The bomb was meant for wild boars and planted by an unknown person. Farmers have been tying their cattle as a preventive measure.
हे म्हशीक म्हाजे न्हू कोणी बॉम्ब घातलो म्हणजे राती हांवें सगळ्या म्हशींक बांदलेल्यो घरा कडेन एक चुकोन सुटली भायर खंय वचोंक ना हांगासर ती सायटीक गेली आनी बॉम्ब खाल्लो तिणी सायटीक गेली आनी मागीर ती हांगा 4:30 सुमार येयली आनी हांव तिसर उबी रावली अशी घेवन मागीर हांवें तिका पयली
कसले गांवठी बॉम्ब
गांवठी बॉम्ब
कित्याक
दुकरांक लागून घालता तेस्ता बी एक दुकर मारलो कोणी तिका
घेना न्ही
ना पयलीं आमी सोडून घाली म्हणून आमी फाटल्या दिसांनी काय हे करूंक ना विशू म्हणजे आमची बी चूक जाताली न्हू आतां आमी काल सगळ्यांक बांदलेल्यो म्हणजे एक चुकोन भायर काय वचोंक ना हांगाच आसलेली न्हू वाड्यारूच आमच्या
आमी सगळ्यांक बांदता
आमी रातच्यो सगळ्या म्हशींक बांदता आमच्या
ओके ओके सो तुमचे आतां कितें डिमांड आहा
हे मातशें बंद जावपाक जाय अशें फेमस जावंक जाय
एक गांवठी बॉम्ब घालून गोरवांक मारप म्हशी बंद जावपाक
जाय
ओके ओके
इतकेच आमच्या सरकाराकडे डिमांड आसा आनी कांय ना आनी कितें दिता जाल्यार दिवन म्हणजे तेंचो इन्शुरन्स कांय ना म्हणजे आमच्यो गांवठी लोकल आनी आमी कामूय ना आमकां हेजे वरसून आमी हें करता चलन आमचें
लोक बॉम्ब घालता सो तुमची कितल्यो म्हशी मेल्यो 2 मेल्यो ही आतां दुसरी ही आल्या ती
ही धरून 2
ही 2 म्हणजे कितें इन्शुरन्स बी कितें तशें कितें केलां आनी कितें कानाक कसलो बेल्ट आहा तो
गव्हर्मेंट
मागीर ते
वयलो
ते मागीर ते कितें इन्शुरन्स बी दिना
ना
काय दिना ओके तुमकां कितें आतां कितें तुमची मागणी आहा
आमच्या हे घालता ते बंद जावंक जाय
बॉम्ब घालता ते बंद जावपाक जाय तेजे कोणी तरी दखल घेवपाक जाय सरकार
Devendra Gamkar for Herald TV.
Senior engineer from the Electricity Department has cautioned consumers to be aware of cyber fraud. The Electricity Department has been notified that consumers have been getting fraudulent messages through WhatsApp and SMS stating their power supply will be disconnected if bills are not paid, along with a link and number to pay the bill. The Electricity Department has informed consumers that if their bills are not paid on time, a notice is sent through hard copy or mail.
Electricity Department wants consumers to be aware of cyber fraud. Consumers receive messages stating that their power supply will be cut if bills are not paid of time. The message also includes a number and link. The Electricity Department informed consumers that if bills are not paid, a notice period is given. For more information, contact the Electricity Department helpline number 1912.
Some of our consumers are getting messages that their power supply will be disconnected by tonight if their bills are not paid. A number is given in the message which either comes through an SMS or it comes through WhatsApp. And when people try to call this number, the person over there tells them to download an app. Now if the person downloads this app, all the information that is there either on his mobile or on his desktop can be made accessible to that person. Now this is a case of cyber fraud. The Electricity Department will never send messages on WhatsApp or SMS for immediate disconnection of power supply. Even if a consumer has not done payments, a notice period is issued to a consumer in hard copy or in a mail, wherein a consumer is given a chance to pay. Only when the consumer doesn't pay, his power supply is disconnected.
Shagun Gowdy for Herald TV.
Special provisions have been made for persons with disabilities by the Office of the State Commissioner for the Person with Disabilities and Directorate of Social Welfare. A 10-day awareness and sensitization program for Kadamba Transport Corporation KTC has been organized in order to create awareness about persons with disabilities travelling in public transport. KTC staff will attend a 10-day sensitization program.
Special provisions have been made for people with disabilities who use public transport. A 10-day sensitization program has been organized for KTC staff. The program is organized to explain the staff about issues faced by people with disabilities.
Be it any schemes or any initiative taken, we are always there. We have buses and we have different types of people coming in our buses. Our buses are meant for all category of people. And we have made reservations also. Seats are reserved for different categories of people. But many times this reservation is not given because people are not aware of what is the penalty for not giving the seats to the disabled person. So from our side, we have taken initiatives, we have created infrastructure and we have created seats. But that sensitivity towards this type of people was not there. So this is a good initiative. I thank Commissioner for Disabled People. He has taken this initiative and also the Secretary. And I request my staff to please go through all the provisions that they are going to show you and see that you all not only study but also tell others what is required to be done. It will be a great help to me and my team if we can achieve this. Because just giving seats and just making an infrastructure, like 147 buses are already made disabled free out of 496 buses of KTCL. We have also made crane facilities where we can just lift the disabled person and put them in the bus. So from our side we are doing everything, but there has to be sensitivity against this type of people from your end. You also should help. If a person comes at a bus stand, see that the wheelchairs are there, the wheelchair is brought and given to him, and all the facilities are made available. I once again thank the Commissioner for taking this initiative, also the Secretary, and please take this training and implement it. Thank you.
मेरी रिक्वेस्ट ये होगी कि कमिश्नर साहब से रिक्वेस्ट ये होगी कि करम्बा के लिए ना एक फॉरेन का टूर कराएं जिसमें एमडी साहब जाएं, चेयरमैन साहब जाएं या गवर्नमेंट को रिकमेंड करें और हमारे सेलेक्टेड ड्राइवर या उनके जो कंडक्टर्स हैं वो जाएं विदेशों में देखें कि कैसे एक सीमलेस सिस्टम ऑपरेशन का चलता है, ठीक है। और ये लोग जाएंगे तो ये मैनेजमेंट लेवल पे देखेंगे कि कैसे कोई बस स्टैंड वहाँ ऑपरेट करता है, आप जाएंगे तो देखेंगे कंडक्ट लेवल पे कैसे ये ऑपरेशन होता है।
Clinton D'Souza for Herald TV.
Moira locals gathered at Bastora to clean the water hyacinth that's been infesting the river. While the Moira Sarpanch had earlier removed the water hyacinth from a section of the river, it still continues to grow, causing a number of adversities to local fishermen. It also poses danger to breeding fish. The locals have requested people to come together in order to nip this problem in the bud and remove the water hyacinth.
Moira villagers gather at Bastora to clear the infestation of water hyacinth. The water hyacinth has been causing hardships to fishermen and pose a danger to fish. Locals have asked people to come forward and remove this hyacinth.
सध्या वॉटर हायसिंथ आसा ते काडपाचें आमी काम चालू केलां पूण जो मुळावो मुद्दो आसा ते वॉटर हायसिंथ कित्या पासून जालें न्हू तो मुद्दो एड्रेस करपाचें चड गरजेचो जें सायें उदक कॅनालाचें उदक नदीन वता आनी ते खारसाण पीच म्हूण हें जाता आनी ताका लागून हे वॉटर हायसिंथ जाता तो फ्रेश वॉटर जें येता तें बंद करपाक चड गरजेचें जे मेरेन फ्रेश वॉटर उदकान नदीन वयतले ते पीएच उणी जावन ते वॉटर हायसिंथ जायत रावतले ते ताका लागून ते वॉटर हायसिंथाक न्यूट्रियंट्स मेवता आनी ते फास्ट प्रॉपगेट जाता म्हणटून ते डबल स्ट्रॅटेजी आमी यूज करूंक जाय जे फ्रेश वॉटर आसा कॅनलाचें तें बंद करपाक जाय आनी नदीन जे सुएज रिलीज जाता
that we're cleaning the entire river of the water hyacinth which has been choking the entire river line. So we're in Bastora right now. So you can see them. Why don't you take it right here to manage traffic? Yeah. So that's what we're doing. We're starting with Bastora today and then we'll progressively move to Tar and that's our goal is to clean the entire water hyacinth.
Prakash Gadekar for Herald TV.
And that's all we have in today's news bulletin. Thanks for watching Herald TV News. For more news alerts, please follow us on O Heraldo on Facebook and Twitter. Take care and goodbye.